company, kicking things off and making it to one of the premier stops, one of 9 Masters 1000 events on the year. And always a good draw. Draws fans from all 50 states as well as South America as well as Europe. It's always a good ticket, and this grounds here in Miami Gardens has certainly grown into itself somewhat after what started as feeling like a bit industrial. Look at the man we're going to see in just a little while inside the stadium, 38 years young, Gael Monfils. He'll be in action as he takes on the Hungarian Fabian Marozsan. Marozsan actually won their only previous meeting. That was last year in Auckland. And of course, it was Gael Monfils who won Auckland this year for his 13th career title.
Yeah, this guy, he looks like a international treasure, isn't he? We have to sign a petition for him to keep playing for another 10 years, please. He's so entertaining. He kind of seems to be playing some of his best tennis. I don't know where the limit is for Monfils.
There was some terrific tennis being played in Wells. I agree with you. He seems to have raised his level. I think he knows that the clock is ticking, and yet his body, it can respond so well. He's just so energetic and so enthused about tennis still that it's yielding some great results. We'll see how things go for Gael as he takes on Marozsan. Again, that's going to be the opening match for the men inside Hard Rock Stadium. There's a women's match taking place, so the time will tell when they take the court. Later today, qualifier Mackenzie McDonald. He'll be on court against Nick Kyrgios. And of course, you never know what's going to happen when Nick comes to play, but he hasn't won a match in a long time.
You never know what's going to happen when Nick comes out. It's why he's so fun. It's why we enjoy watching him so much, and no exceptions today. Sabochfield
of Brazil will take on Alice of France, their first ever contest. Meanwhile, over on the grandstand, we were talking a lot about the Bublik-Baez match. Thought that would go well into the day. It went quickly. Bublik was able to stomp out the Argentinian threat in straight sets. Later on today, Elliot Spizzirri making his Masters 1000 debut against British qualifier Billy Harris. On Butch Buchholz, we'll see Kovacevic take on Kecmanovic. Rinderknecht take on Munar. Kovacevic has won their only meeting against Kecmanovic, and Rinderknecht beat Munar in his only contest against the Spaniard. And over on court number 1, Sang making an appearance against Bellucci to start, but the Italian making his Miami debut. We'll see a qualifier from Belgian, Bloch, making his Masters 1000 debut against the qualifier Mute. And Muller and Sakamoto in action as Rei Sakamoto makes his ATP Tour debut. Beautiful blue skies overhead. Temperatures starting to get hot again. About 80 degrees Fahrenheit will be the high today. That's, by my estimation, somewhere in the range about 26, 27 Celsius. It has been already pretty exciting stuff to get things underway, and we're only a couple hours into this day. But while we have some time, we want to refresh you and remind you of what transpired 12 months ago, as it was one Jannik Sinner being able to push through to the final. He took on Grigor Dimitrov on the last day, and having the call was Lee Goodall and Naomi Cavaday. Let's dial the time machine back 1 year ago in Miami.
Play. Dimitrov to get us going. Gone through all the numbers, Naomi, what's on the line today, how they've been playing, results, form coming through the tournament. What are you looking for? Anything that you particularly need in terms of starts. Hold to love. Settle. It's Jamie Delgado on the left and the white bucket hat, one of Grigor's two coaches.
Well, the fans are in. You can hear the chants of Grigor, such a popular player. The fans are always very loud as well. Something to take a look at here. Dimitrov has been so aggressive in this tournament. Much more aggressive in terms of his positioning than he was able to manage against Sinner this time last year when they met in Miami. So it's a whole metre further up the court that Dimitrov has been averaging through this tournament. To do that against Sinner, he's done it against Alcaraz, he's done it against plenty of players. Can Sinner knock him right off that baseline?
Sinner to serve.
Dimitrov's coach, Jamie Delgado, was doing an interview a little earlier on today. Quite insightful. I mean, nothing too enlightening about Sinner. Said that his weakness, well, it used to be the forehand. Now he has no weaknesses.
Just a little bit off in these opening exchanges. Sinner, one or two misses you wouldn't perhaps expect. Darren Cahill, who's guided him so expertly alongside Simone Vagnozzi, his Italian coach as well. Both those guys worked hard to add more layers to Sinner's game, make him stronger physically and stronger mentally too. One shot that's improved no end.
Yeah, they've made some technical changes on the serve. Lots of tinkering. And boy, it has improved in every department. The pace, the accuracy, confidence behind it. The shot selection as well. That's a big part of serving.
Much more used to these sort of things as well, as they played so many big matches in the last 6 months or so. Masters win. One of those coming in Canada last year in the summer. Canadian Masters final.
Let for serve.
Big wins in ATP 500 finals just after that. Beijing, where he beat Medvedev, and Vienna, where he got the better of Medvedev again. Beijing was where they most recently met, Sinner and Dimitrov. That was in the quarterfinals. 3-set win for Sinner, 2 in the third.
Game Sinner. One game on.
Some will remember fairly unwell during that match. It's awful at times. And to win, he actually spin. But was able to find a way through. Again, a sign of the physical strength, the mental strength, that he was able to dig deep that night and to win that tournament. Something he ate, he said. Something bad that he ate, he thought.
15 love.
Leads the head-to-head 2-1. Beat Dimitrov here in Miami 12 months ago. That was the round of 32, 3 and 4. And Dimitrov winning their first meeting. That was in Rome on clay 2020, so a long time ago, that one. Sinner has improved a massive amount in those 4 years.
Well, he's going to back himself that he can win this match. Of course he will, the way that he's been playing, but he's going to be very wary of Dimitrov and how he's been playing through this tournament.
Delgi, as is known, of course, had a incredible relationship with Andy Murray. Part of his team. As did Grigor's other coach, Danny Balvadou, as well, both been part of Andy's success over the years. Danny is back alongside Grigor in Monte Carlo. That will be Grigor's next tournament. Local tournament, that one, for a lot of the stars who live in Monaco. It's a really good start. Exceptional start on serve for Dimitrov. 8 out of 8 points won.
Dimitrov leads.
Bulgarian flags are flying high right now. Both players going for a second Masters title. Dimitrov won back in 2017. A long time ago that year he won the Itau ATP finals as well. And of course one of the big stories the last few days since he won his semi-final. Dimitrov back in the top 10 tomorrow, regardless of what happens. He'll be number 9. Could go as high as 7 though with a win.
Love.
It's been good to Sinner this tournament. It's the 3rd time he's been in the Miami final in the last 4 years. Lost to Hurkacz 2021. Medvedev last year, hoping it's 3rd time lucky today. It's exquisite. Beautiful timing. No sense that he was muscling that return.
Such a bold play out. metre inside the baseline he's contacted that, taking it so far in front of him as well. Yeah, that's supposed to be a body serve, but if you take it out in front, it doesn't have time to get to your body. Feel like a little bit of a nervy start for
30
Sinner.
I would agree.
He's still not exactly used to these sorts of finals. Okay, he's had a fair few at this level, and his record in finals overall on the ATP Tour is pretty ludicrous. 13 wins and 4 losses. Just the 3 at Masters level.
Hasn't found his rhythm on the first serve yet. He's produced that sort of tennis over the last few days. Dealt with those sort of balls, that sort of rally so well.
Well, here we go. Depth just doesn't bother Dimitrov anymore. That first one, he just soaked it up, could still stick to the baseline. That really hurts Sinner. He's used to pushing players back. Then that got the short ball out of the Italian.
Getting a lot of support early in this final. Chance to break. Just a fraction wide. It was a good return off a good serve. Did well to establish himself in the points. Just 5 of 12 first serves. Found the box so far.
He's not rolling through points. And that's going to be a big reason why that first serve percentage struggling. He's won the points when he's landed the first.
Well, it wasn't a clean game, but he's won it. That's the most important thing early in these big matches. You are feeling a bit tight. You just hustle your way through these opening 4, 5, 6 games. He's done that. 2 apiece.
I suppose Sinner's going to back himself that he's going to have that relentless quality and ask the questions of Dimitrov, can you keep up over and over and over again? Dimitrov is going to have the flashiness, and maybe it will come at the perfect time. Maybe he will be able to catch a couple of great returns.
Yeah, to drop a point on serve, Dimitrov.
Fascinating shot selection there, both going at it, refusing to move from the baseline, even though they were crushing the ball at each other. And to go for that mixer on the drop shot. It's the first point in the game to try and do something a little different. Just Give Sinner a foothold.
Love 30.
It's a great serve. Needed to be under a bit of pressure for the first time.
15-30.
One step ahead. Had options with the forehand pass, and he chose the right one. Starting
15,
to click through the gears.
40.
Well, add it to the long list of the improvements Sinner has made, particularly in the last 6 months or so. The movement is just off the scale good. It's always been a strength of his, of course. That level of reactive speed now. Tough to get it past him.
Sinner's first chances of this final. Looks like another first serve is crucial here. See off the second break point. Yes. He's got the break. Another forehand pass doing the job. After a bit of a shaky start by his high, Sinner announces his arrival.
Welcome to Rio.
The Jockey Club Brasileiro will be our home this week for the ATP Tour 500 event.
It is a first ATP 500 level final for Alexandra Müller. The title defense is still on. It's back-to-back Rio finals for Sebastian Baez. And now on the red dirt of the Jockey Club Brasileiro, the next chapter is about to be written. Oh, what a point! So first blood to Baez in this final. Baez goes back-to-back in Rio. He becomes the first man to win this title on multiple occasions.
Of this final in the second Masters 1000 of the Alcaraz winning the first in Indian Wells. Was on for the Sunshine Double until Dimitrov had other ideas. Took him down in the quarters. Sure, I'd love to have a slightly better game on serve here, just to back up the break. A few more first serves in. That's 46% the first serve percentage right now.
Dimitrov has been in the return game so far.
There's the light on. Yeah.
Has had a break point.
Love.
Jerry. The light behind me, apparently.
Jannik's just spotted that once that switched off.
All.
24 of his last 25 matches, Sinner. That's how good he's been lately. Hasn't made too many first serves yet, but when he's gone in, 100%. Points one behind it.
Good night.
That's much better. Noticeable improved quality to the serving all of a sudden once he got the break on the board, and it looks like he's fully settled in now.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult for Dimitrov after slipping behind. But we've seen him deliver some pretty outstanding stuff through the tournament. Just that sort of tennis, just relentlessly pushing forward. Feels like he's playing his entire game inside the baseline. Yeah, very often he doesn't need to bother playing the volley because the shot is just too early, too quick.
His athleticism and movement is phenomenal, isn't it? I know we sometimes talk when we watch Grigor play about how long he's been around. He celebrated his 15 years after his first tour win in Rotterdam this year at the start of the season. So he's been around the block, but he's still one of the best athletes on tour, 32 years of age. That really stood out during that win over Alcaraz. Because you've got to move well when Alcaraz is down the far end.
Yeah, and it's that reactive speed. You know, you get some players that are quite quick with more running speed, just maybe not in the first couple of steps, but once they get going, they can make really good chases, and they do pick up speed quite quickly. But it's about those first steps, being able to just really react, get the rackets going quickly, shorten up your swings. Too much on that shot from Sinner. You can see it's a late contact. I feel like we haven't seen Dimitrov hit the ball late at all throughout the Miami event. He's fully committed to that position up on the baseline.
Let's. Second serve.
He's feeling so much pressure when they're both stuck to that baseline, really just thumping at each other. That's why we saw that drop shot come in on the first point of his last service game. Just didn't quite know what else to do. He's feeling the heat.
Well, this first set could be done if he breaks again here. Dimitrov now starting to miss a couple of first serves. Key moments. That's how good it's got to be right now. Beautiful backhand up the line.
Oh, it's just sublime, isn't it? Everything really taking the time away from Sinner. Not only does he step into the ball, he's up the court, takes the ball over, but also just rolling up onto the toes, just gets him that extra little bit. You need every drop you can get against Sinner.
Just brilliant. Just needs the smallest of opportunities, and he's got the quality to produce that sort of tennis over and over again right now. Smallest of gaps that he found. Enough pace and width on that backhand to bring up another chance for a double break.
Shot behind the serve has been outstanding for him. So bold. There's quite a lot of risk with it, but it has to be.
Turning into a long service game that he simply must win.
Dimitrov. Please. Let or serve.
Something a little clever there, just chopping it down low. Shake of the head there for Dimitrov, wasn't happy with that decision. Look at the return quality, sky high for Sinner, of course it is. Well above his 52-week average. Dimitrov's got to find these sorts of serves to try and prevent that from coming in.
Dimitrov.
terrific hold of serve. Clinging on to his first set hopes during that service game that was around 8 minutes in duration, but he gets it done. Sinner still with a break though, 4-3.
Well, as we speed forward now, 12 months later, we can resume the action at the end of the match. Sinner held and broke to take the opening set 6-3 and never looked back in set number 2 as he stomps his way to his 13th title, his second Masters 1000 crown in a straight sets win over Grigor Dimitrov. What a magnificent start to the year 2024 for Jannik Sinner. His third of what will become 8 titles over the course of the season. Put on quite a display in the Magic City, where he'd had his difficulties in closing out on the final day. He finally gets his reward. Champion of the Miami Open. So for Jannik Sinner, he would continue to hold sway over the tour the remainder of the year, but he will not be back to defend his title in 2025. And we're happy now. That voice you heard throughout that final, he's joined me in the booth. Lee Goodall.
Thank you, Kev. Good to be back. Yeah, timely reminder as well of the quality of tennis. Just watching those pictures from last year, the quality of tennis that Dimitrov was playing this time last year. He was unbelievable, wasn't he, through the draw, en route to the final. Hasn't been able to get it going this year because of injury problems, but maybe he'll be inspired by returning to this venue.
Indeed. And meanwhile, we in on the stadium in a few moments, as taking the court will be Gael Monfils taking on Fabian Marozsan, their second ever meeting, with the Hungarian winning the only previous contest. Nick Kyrgios returns, tries to find a win for the first time since October 2022. He'll go up against the American qualifier Mackenzie McDonald. Seibold, always an intriguing encounter when he takes a court. Not sure what you're going to get from the Brazilian, but he'll take on the Frenchman Alice. So that's what's going to be transpiring for the rest of today, this opening day, 19th of March, at the 2025 Miami Open, presented by Itau. Yeah, it's going to be, if Indian Wells was any indicator, the first half of the Sunshine Double. This closing chapter is going to be something else the next couple of days.
Yeah, fascinating, isn't it? As you and Naomi were alluding to, I think the last couple of hours or so, it feels kind of open to me, this Masters 1000. Had a big surprise in watching the British lefty Jack Draper win, of course, in the desert on Sunday. Another surprise champion.
Or could Jack pull it off and get the Sunshine Double? I mean, the way he was playing in the California desert, why not? But we'll see how things transpire as this tournament unfolds. Meanwhile, in this section of the draw, we do indeed find that Gael Monfils and Fabian Marozsan are in Novak Djokovic's quarter. This is the quarter that features the 6-time champion as well as former champion Neil Medvedev. The winner will move through to face the 26th seed Yuri Lehechka. But time to look in on the human highlight himself. What a thrill it is to see the 38-year young Gael Monfils out there. Lee still passionate, still able to play this game at a high level, and he wants success.
And he's had it already this year. I was lucky enough to watch that run down in Auckland. That was a quite incredible week, and you know, watching him play his best tennis and the way he still moves around a tennis court, it's easy to forget that he's 38 years of age, still picking up ATP titles. He went missing for 3 or 4 weeks after that trip down to New Zealand and Australia with, I think it was a tear in the thigh. So, you know, understandably there are going to be a few bumps along the road when you've been playing the sport as long as this man has. But great to see him back in Miami, and as you say, will always entertain. He's always one of those names, isn't he? The order of play, the schedule is published. He's one of those names that jumps off the page.
Yeah, if you get a chance to see him up close and personal, as the fans inside the stadium will once they congregate here to watch this, it's going to be a thrill always for the Frenchman being present. Meanwhile, across the net from him is the very talented Hungarian Fabian Marozsan, who it was just about a year ago, a couple months shy of a year ago, he reached a high of 26 in the world. The 25-year-old, though, comes in on something of a downward slope. Despite having an 8-7 record, he's lost 4 of his last 6 contests.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad start to the year, was it? Made quarterfinals in Hong Kong. That's the first week of the season, and had a good win over Rublev there in the round of 16. And then had a couple of wins at the Australian Open as well. Beat Sebelfeld, she'll be seeing later on this court. He beat Tiafoe as well down in Melbourne. So decent first couple of weeks, some early wins on the board, and then it's just been a little more erratic since then. But like Dimitrov, maybe a guy who'll be inspired by returning to a venue that was kind to him. I was just reminding myself of the quality of the tennis he played during the Sunshine this time last year. Made the last 16 in Indian Wells, and then coast to coast and made the quarterfinals here in Miami. It's a good month, isn't it?
In his day.